Welcome to the Empty Nest Kitchen, where we're finding fun in the kitchen now that the kids have flown the coop. I'm Christine Van Bloom, a cooking teacher with over 25 years of experience, here to show you tips, tricks, and joy in your kitchen, all while trying something new. Let's get cooking.
So let's talk supper clubs. As empty nesters, we have a little bit more time on our hands than we did when the kids were young and we were running from all the sporting events and scouts and dance classes and all of that stuff. And it's important, I think, to keep ourselves really moving and activated and going. And it's turned out a little more fun too, right? So one of the ways that I've done this is really fairly recent, and it's been with a group of my friends. So we were sitting at my friend Carrie's house one night this summer. She kind of got on a tear about one of our friends had never done crab picking. And if you are from Maryland, you know, and if you're not, let me tell you, like doing a crab feed is a very Maryland thing. And I am a Marylander by choice, not by birth. And it took me a while to learn it and get into it, but I am in. And basically, blue crabs from Chesapeake Bay, you buy them by the half bushel or the dozen or whatever. And they come in a box, they're steamed, there's a whole big thing. If you know, you use J.O. seasoning number 2, not Old Bay, but lots of folks around here use Old Bay. It's a whole Maryland thing. But we were sitting at her house one night this summer, and it was a group of 8 of us. 4 of the friends, one had COVID, so she couldn't come, and the spouses. And we all bought a little something, and we just, I don't know, it was one of those perfect summer evenings, right? We were out on the porch, we were picking away, a storm rolled through. And when I say storm, I don't mean a drizzle. I mean storm. And you should know I am a total weather weenie. You should know this about me, especially with winter on the horizon. I am a total weather weenie. But we were sitting there and my friend Sharon says, "Oh, we should do a supper club." And I swear, I think it took 3 seconds, I'm not even joking, for all of us to go, "Oh my gosh, great idea. Sarah's into," even though she couldn't make it, right? Even though she was homesick. And thus, our supper club was born. Now, and one of the things you need to know, these are a few of my friends from when I owned the Kitchen Studio Cooking School. So I've known them for a very, very long time, and they're wonderful, wonderful people. But these are not women that shrink at making decisions. Let me tell you, it was quick, it was decided. So for our supper club, we decided we wanted to keep things really pretty casual. And if you are thinking about doing a supper club, I'm going to tell you, I strongly recommend it. But there are a couple of things, and there are a couple of pitfalls that you want to look out for when you're doing your supper club. So let's talk about it. First, and the most important thing, isn't actually the food, it's the people. So I recommend that you at least kind of know some of the people that are in your group. It's even better if you can pull another group, right? If you can pull friends from different places, but make sure that everybody can get along in this really heated political climate in just the world that we live in today. You want to make sure that everybody can play nice and get along well. We're not doing this as a punishment. We're doing it because we want to get together and have fun and laugh and eat good food. So your number one is choosing the right mix of people. And if you're going to do this as a couples thing, and you absolutely do not have to do this as a couples thing. If you're doing this as a couples thing, you want to make sure that the spouses can play nice as well. That's really important. because you don't want your spouse to kind of drag heels to get involved in this. No, you want them to be excited and part of the equation. So your people are your first consideration. Your second is the number of people. You may want to start with 8 people or maybe even 10, but maybe consider keeping it just to that as you get things rolling. For our group, we've got some busy ladies here. Some who go to Arizona for a couple of months every year. Some who are just traveling all the time. We've got folks working full time. We've got the gamut. So for us, we decided with 5 couples, 10 people, we would each host one time a year and give ourselves a little break during that heavy season that we've got, when every bridal shower, every baby shower, every wedding, everything is tumbling down, to give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room and flexibility. We always book the next date before we leave the one we're currently in. So I hosted one here mid-October, and we had already settled on our December date for the next dinner. It's great because we get it on the schedule. The other thing is, we've made the decision not to worry about if everyone can attend. Our goal when we set the date is to make sure everyone can attend. But we all know things pop up, right? Trips pop up, illness pops up, all sorts of things happen. So we've decided if one couple can't make it, we're just going to roll on. We'll do a toast and take it from there. So people are the crux, the whole thing for us. That's where we really want to set everything up before we get into all of the other fun stuff. After you've got your people determined, well, then we have to talk food, because after all, this is a supper club, is it not? So we have each person or each couple is hosting one time a year. The host couple determines the main course and provides all of the beverages, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, and they're also responsible for setting the theme. We started with crab feast. We moved into a gumbo night. Oh my gosh, it was delicious. The couple had way too much okra in their garden. Rack that up with things I never thought I'd say. But they made the most delicious, they're just consummate hosts. It was the most delicious meal, and we all brought things. For mine, I just had this romantic vision, and they made it happen, where we sat under our maple tree on a gorgeous October night, and we had a fire going on the patio, and I brought everything out. They brought side dishes and dessert and appetizers. Was fantastic. It was so good. We just had the absolute best time. And our next meal, I think, is Italian. And this couple is a little further away. They're about 35 minutes away from all of us, maybe even a touch more. But we've got it set, and we are excited. We'll all kind of chime in with, oh, I'll make dessert. Oh, I'll make the appetizers. For me, I kind of sit back and let everybody determine what they want, and then I'll fill in the holes. Because whatever, everybody here is an accomplished cook. Everybody is an accomplished host. They're all so good at doing it. It's a little intimidating, if I'm being totally honest. And you can decide how you want to do it. Another way to do a supper club, it's a bigger lift, and it's deciding that the host handles everything. I know it feels like a lot, right? But you can do it so that the host is handling everything soup to nuts, where they're handling the apps, the dessert, the mains and the side, all the beverages, everything. You can totally do that. Because then you're doing a heavy lift one time a year. Well, one time a year. You may choose to meet every month. I think for us, every other month is working really beautifully. I think it's really nice. But you get to make the call. Just make sure that you set it up with all of your folks that you're involving in your supper club. Okay? That is an important part of things. You got to have total buy-in from everyone. Personally, I like the way we're doing it where everybody is bringing something every time. You're really making one dish. And as the host, I'll tell you truthfully, I sat back on my laurels, baby, because I knew that someone was bringing appetizers. So it was funny. It was hard for me not to make some apps, but I knew someone was bringing them. So in my mind, I don't want to step on her toes or their toes. It's all about making sure you communicate the parameters of your club when you're setting it up. So you've got people, you've got your setup. This is going to sound really funny to you. Are you doing hostess gifts? I know, right? So this seems silly, but when you have folks who we've been around the block, right? We know what's what, and we always take a little something. Well, is that what we're doing? Are we doing hostess gifts? Is this going to be just how it rolls? It took me a little while to figure out. My group, big into the hostess gifts. So I feel more guilty about the last one because I was like, I'm bringing my crawfish beignets. Is that not enough? No, it wasn't. I should have brought a hostess gift, but I'm on it now, let me tell you. And this doesn't have to be anything extravagant, trust me. But you should know in your group if that's something you want to do. And I'll tell you, if you wanted to do a supper club and not do it with couples, but do it with a group of friends, boy, you could have a lot of food. So you want to make sure that you're bringing an appropriate amount of food. If you are 8 people bringing 8 dishes, each dish should be like a regular size and not an amped up portion. Okay? Because you don't want to have tons and like way more food than you can have. But if you do, make sure that your host has leftovers. And also, leftovers, that's part of this whole thing as well. Because are you part of a group that wraps up their dish and takes it home? Are you part of a group that likes to leave it with the host? Are you part of a group that likes everybody to take a little bit and take it with you? Questions you don't think of, right? So I would say rely on your host to have containers for everyone to take home, but talk to everyone at the beginning and just make sure that everyone is on the same page. All right, so we've covered the group, we've covered the food, we've covered the frequency. Now, let's talk about the booze. Are you a group that wants to have alcohol available? My husband, John, listen, when I met him, he was bartending in New York City. Was that a lifetime ago? Absolutely, yes, it was. But he loves putting together a bar for an event. He really does. He also comes up typically with a signature cocktail. That's really his thing, and lots of options to have for folks. Are you going to have alcohol at your event? Personal choice. Can you have it? Absolutely. Should you also have non-alcoholic options? Also, absolutely. For us, because John made, I think the drink is called a stone fence. It's some kind of brown liquor, and then it's got a touch of maple syrup. And when I say a touch, I mean a touch, and a little bit of apple cider in it. He went a little less sweet with it. He's not a big sweet drink guy, and he knew that the fellas that were coming were also the same. But then we had the apple cider to have, and we had a few other bottles of wine, some of this, some of that. it worked out beautifully. But you may want to consider, because alcohol can get expensive. Again, if you're only hosting once, I look at as the cost of doing business, right? You know your people, you know your friends, you know what you want to put out there. So it's absolutely up to you and your group how you handle it. We don't really do a full bar because a full bar gets crazy. Now, if somebody wants a gin drink, yeah, trust me, we can knock that out, no problem. But we kind of keep it to our theme. And we've seen that across the board with our events. So these are a few of the considerations that you're going to want to have if you decide to do a supper club. But really, it's time. It's time to try something new. It's time to get out there. We're not getting any younger now, are we? The kids are gone. Let's have some fun while we can. Let's meet with our friends. Let's have great food. Let's have great laughs. Let's do it together. And I invite you to try a supper club. Now, listen, you can always find me at emptynestkitchen.com. And if you have questions about doing a supper club, if there's something I haven't covered here, well, gosh, just drop me an email. I would totally love that. I am always happy to answer your questions and to help you along as you go. And while you're trying something new and you're visiting emptynestkitchen.com, you go ahead and take a look. I've always got an AARP free class that I offer at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, the first Saturday of the month. They are a hoot. I totally love them. Totally free. We have a great time. You can see inside my kitchen. I would love to have you join. You can find a link to that there. And of course, if you've been listening for a bit, you know that I've launched menopause meal plans with the idea of creating recipes and menus really suited for women in peri, post, and menopause to give the stuff we need in our diets without having to think about it. I'm doing the heavy lift so you can simplify your life a bit, and you can find information there as well. So drop me a line, take a listen, share this with a friend and say, have you ever thought that maybe we could do a supper club? And have a great time with it. As always, I'll see you in the kitchen.